Hello, 92. Welcome back to the Three Marketeers show. All right.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. As you can see tonight we have May here. May was here. Talking about discussing about Pinterest marketing. But I think today May is joining us to discuss a very interesting topic. So yeah, I mean, we're just gonna let Manfred do it. I don't know, see whether he can do a better job or not. So Manfred, can we have you to introduce May a little bit before we hand the baton over to May to introduce herself in her own way. So how did you meet her?
Yeah, I always not prepared for introduction. Always
After 90,
how many
episodes like that?
92 episodes.
Yeah,
And he tells you it's not prepared.
we met in one of the insurance companies in Singapore. So we were colleagues, but I was in the regional office. Hers is more in the local office. So to talk and help each other out in terms of insurance. So later on, we move on to do other things. Then I was quite surprised she was doing Pinterest. So 1 year ago, I invited her to come to our show to talk about Pinterest. Then I discovered more that actually Pinterest is more popular in US and UK. So I'm not the Pinterest expert. So maybe let May talk more. Okay, that's all.
All right. Thanks, Manfred. Okay, that's a short one.
So
that's,
much
that's
for
at least
enthusiasm.
Okay. I'll give it to you. So, May, share with us, what do you do? I mean, it's been a year since we last met.
Yeah.
Is there any update about things you do? And
Oh, things haven't changed that much.
Okay.
So I'm a Pinterest strategist, meaning I help business owners grow their business with Pinterest, to use Pinterest as a marketing channel. So what I do is I help these online business owners. I work with international clients who need help to drive traffic to their website, and I help them by using Pinterest, just like how you would use social media. And Pinterest is just one of those marketing channel that I specialize in.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So if like Jason was asking if things have changed over the past year. So the past 3 years I was working mostly with clients one-on-one as a service provider, helping them manage their Pinterest account. And just earlier this year I launched a course to help people who wanted to do DIY Pinterest. So that's the thing that changed, if you ask me how things have changed. But I still work with clients one-on-one. Yeah.
Awesome. I think, Pinterest is really something that is very uniquely, I think, in the state, right? Most of the clients coming from the Western world. Has it changed since then? Do you see any growth in Asian countries and all?
Yeah.
Not really in Southeast Asia, although that's my hope in the future. But I think right now it's more of the big countries like US, UK a little bit, and Australia. Even Australia, they're not that familiar with Pinterest. And also because a lot of the new features that Pinterest is launching in recent years, they usually release to US first, and then Canada, and other countries like UK and Australia. So I guess it's also because of the lower usage in other countries like Asia, that we don't get access to the latest features that Pinterest launches. But it's a chicken and egg thing. We don't have low usage, so they don't really
makes sense. They need to serve the major markets. But is it still predominantly women? The last time I think we recall was about 80+% users were women. Right?
Maybe about 70% now, but still predominantly women.
I see.
Predominantly. Before you go, Manfred, before you go, I just want to update everyone who is watching live. Just want to tell you that the chat feature is not working right now, as in I'm not able to read your chat on the stream room right now, and I'm not able to pin your chat. So if there's anything that you're talking, I already have Manfred manning the Facebook side. I'm looking at the YouTube side, and Andrew will be watching it on the LinkedIn side.
Yes.
So feel free to pop your questions on each platform, but we won't be able to pin your comment. I'm just gonna like read it out loud. If there is any, I can see there are 2 comments coming in. Manfred, can you actually check on your side?
One is from Chiwai, which is got pretty guess. Dan Manfred sure kanchong already.
Oh, okay. That's that, Okay. That we agree with you, Manfred. Already, you see the intro already like kind of kaput anyway, but usually kaput intro lah, But that's like the signature of Manfred. So just want to update you guys about what's going on, just in case we are not ignoring you. Okay, it's just Melon app is acting up on us again as usual.
It happens.
It's happened. Okay, so now I just want to anchor back the whole discussion into the topic today, which is thank you for starting the topic. Really, I love the topic, May. It's about starting an online service-based business. This is like today, I think we want to actually, I believe a lot of us are kind of like running some sort of like online business in a way, but your positioning, you're talking about the online-based business. I just want to quickly check, how do you define online service-based business right now so that we can quickly, position the discussion into the right angle?
Sure. So how I would define it is, providing a service remotely to anyone to anyone, any business owner in the in the world.
Right.
So you can be in Singapore and work with someone from the US or work with someone from Malaysia. Recently, I had a client from Malaysia, and that was my first, not my first, but I think I would say my second client who's from Asia. One of them, the other one was a company I worked, a local company that I worked with. And this lady also served the online business world. So she is also a service provider who works with clients from different, from all over the world. Sorry, I'm digressing a bit, but what I mean to say is,
not as bad as me.
We love the story part of it. We love the story part of it. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing this.
So she's looking for expansion into Pinterest, or basically getting her brand into Pinterest?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Because her audience is mostly in the States. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess we are all safely categorized as, online service-based business as well, because our clients are coming from
all over the world, right?
All over the world, and the first thing first is like, and the most importantly, we are not meeting them in any way. It's just virtually, everything is virtual right now. Correct. So I can also categorize our friends in Philippines, if they are like virtual assistants, they are part of that as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so I guess we want to quickly kickstart the discussion today, as in like, let's say, what's your opinion about, is it easier to start an online service-based business right now compared to earlier as when you started? What changed?
I think it's easier nowadays because after COVID, a lot of people went online, right? And the market is in a way more saturated, but also a lot of people are more familiarized with the concept of using Zoom for video calls, or using all these apps and tools to get things done online. So when I was getting started, I wasn't so that early. That was in 2018. I guess it was one of the, one thing that I wished was that I had someone I could talk to, around my circle of friends who understood this thing that I was doing. Yeah, it's like a foreign thing. But nowadays, I guess, the concept of virtual assistant and all, I think it's more getting, what do you call it?
It's common.
Getting more common. Yeah. And to be honest, I started as a virtual assistant. I didn't start as a Pinterest manager. I just niched down into Pinterest later on. Yeah.
Is it difficult to niche in, as in like, like as we start general? I mean, what would be your take? Like, because today I was just having a discussion with a client from the state as well. She's actually starting an agency, and she's toying with the idea where whether she wants to go like broad, as in like service as many people as possible, or to niche into specific so-called industries and all that. Because she was thinking, would that be easier? I mean, it was thinking from a few angles. Would that be easier for her to learn and to gain kind of like the authority? I mean, what would be your take on this?
I think when you're just starting out and you're not sure yet, what to specialize in, it makes sense to start offering general services or something more than one thing, so that you hands-on and you know what you actually like. Unless you are very specific, I'm really good at copywriting, I want to be a copywriter, or for this specific niche, then I mean, but if you are not sure yet, where at the first point of entry where you want to, explore different options, you can start with a general service. But the drawback with a generalist is that if let's say someone comes to your website, and they see a list of services, everything under the sun, and at the end of the day, they might get confused and they might just go for someone who is specialized in the thing that they're looking for. So yeah, for me, I found that when I was a VA, it was, as from a service provider point of view, it was hard to juggle different things because I was doing it solo. I didn't have a team under my belt. It was hard to like learn different things at the same time and then serving different things, different clients who has different needs. Versus when I niche down to Pinterest, people come to me as an expert when they're looking for an expert. You are able to charge higher for your services, and it's also easier for you to streamline and package how your pricing, like how you deliver your service. And even if you want to delegate to someone, you have this set of procedures that, it's pretty more straightforward and simplified, because I like to simplify things instead of confusing
High five.
myself.
Yeah, serious. I totally agree with that because, I mean, it's just I can quickly probably share my experience a little bit when I was starting out as an agency. At one point, I started to do a lot more things. I started to take in, instead of just Facebook ads management or even the Facebook page management that I was doing back then, I started to add in like, I say I also do website. I build website, and I also do mobile apps, and I also do design. And I was like, seriously? And out of a sudden, I need to actually expand the team because I need someone to take care of the design part. I need someone to take care of the, because it's very difficult for us to just switch from one task to another and be able to stay on top of things at the same time.
Yeah.
I think that's a very difficult thing.
Yeah.
So eventually, I totally agree with you, because the moment we specialize into really like, back then Facebook advertising, I mean, there's only one thing to do. So the whole thing has got its SOP.
Yep.
And then everything becomes so manageable and delegatable. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just want a quick check. I mean, the other day, I think we spoke to Tifa, right? She's also a freelancer and a specialized copywriter, freelance copywriter. So she was saying
1 year ago or so.
Yeah, it's about 1 year ago. I probably should talk to Tifa again. So she was saying, she was suggesting for everyone to start. You should go places like, Fiverr. What was the other one again? Upwork and all these places to start getting clients. Because I mean, she's saying it's a good place to start getting yourself out there and start getting yourself exposed to the opportunities and do some work to get started and all that. What would be your suggestion or your in order for, I mean, for those who just want to get started on building an online service-based business? Where should we start?
Oh, I totally agree about starting from Fiverr and Upwork. But the only thing is that I didn't try Fiverr, but I couldn't get into Upwork. That's the first point of entry, right? When you are looking to freelance to offer a service. So that's what I did as well. I tried going into Upwork, and they said, as a virtual assistant, and they said there are too many people, who specialize in the same thing as you. So, we don't have any vacancy at the same time.
Vacancy, somehow they say that.
No, not vacancy. Sorry. no
Slots.
no space
Yeah,
no
no
space
spots
for
for you.
your
Yeah.
kind of But then when I became a Pinterest manager at first, I also tried that. Maybe it could be just that the way I wrote my profile wasn't, the kind that, what they want to see. But anyway, so Upwork is an option. Fiverr, I would say it kind of, I've never tried it, so I don't have much comment on that. But I have tried one service before on Fiverr, and that was I didn't have any bad experience. I had only good experience with that Fiverr service. So for me, when I started, I also tried to look for those directories.
Oh.
Not directories. Other other freelancer listings
Yep.
similar to Upwork, but they didn't really work. So where I got my first client was from a Facebook group. So there are Facebook groups where online business owners hang out. So what you do is just hang out there, and you could provide value or suggestions that, like if people ask any questions, you just provide value there. And sometimes there will be like job openings. That's where you go and comment, and then you send them to your portfolio or
I
link.
agree on that. Same
Yeah.
for Facebook advertisement also.
Facebook advertisement. You
There's
mean from groups?
We add groups out there. You join,
Okay.
you answer questions. Then some people, third person, fourth person will jump in. Then the more you're able to customize the solution to their problem,
Yeah, it works. You have to stand up, right?
the pitfalls that you do, if you insist that you want to do it this way, you don't increase your budget, so and so forth, then after some time, people will trust you, then people will want you to resolve their other problems yourself. So this is where you shine inside a chat group, just a report, after all. I think Jason had experience with that also, man.
You mean what? Facebook group?
Yeah.
Uh,
Answering questions. And when you start, when you have.
Okay. For me, I create my own group. Sorry, Ming.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, I actually never really participate in groups.
Sorry, Jason is at another level.
Yeah, I start my own group. No, it's not another level. Because to me, I totally believe in commenting and getting active in groups. Okay, it's just that I'm seriously, I'm not a chatty person. I even make a rule that I don't reply. For those who comment on my YouTube videos and all that, I make a point that I don't reply, and I will only answer your questions on my AMA. So I really can't do that. I can't. But that I totally agree with you, May. It works to help you get a few. Especially your first few clients to get started, because it's how you quickly build your reputation as well.
Yeah. So nowadays I still hang out in Facebook groups, but not to look at those job posting threads. That can be quite time consuming, but in the beginning, when you don't have any class,
you got plenty of time.
That's where you start. And it's like, it's not about spamming, but more about giving value, contributing. Yes, that's the word.
I think it's the fine line.
People pay attention to you.
So I got my first two clients from the same Facebook group, from the same thread, actually. So funny.
Thread.
Yeah. And then after that, I started trying out, cold emailing. And by cold emailing tends to get a bit of a bad rap, and it sounds a bit icky, right? But it doesn't have to be. You are not, if you're blasting to like hundreds of people at the same time with the same message, of course nobody's going to reply you. So when I cold email, I make sure that I do a research on that company, that client person first, to see where I can fill in with my services, if that's my ideal client. And you just write a very personalized email for each and every cold email that you send. It's not a blanket, can be a template, but then you have to customize it. It's not a blanket like blasting email. And that works, actually. Not every time, but at least I get a reply, whether it's a yes or a no. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a hustle because to be
Yes.
frank, this is what is stopping a lot of so-called startup freelancers or
Yes.
startup online service providers, because getting the first few clients is so difficult.
It's so hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Took me
And
3 months,
wow, that's long.
Yeah, 3 months of just
Have you ever thought of like
like,
giving up? It's like maybe it's not for me. 3 months is long.
definitely. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's very important to get at least the first few clients, because that's where you build your
Yeah.
your
You start to get
confidence.
motivated, right? Your
Correct.
confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about the entire journey? Is in like, how did you really build your reputation? Because it's like a chicken and egg situation. Before you have client, like you need a little bit of like kind of like credentials, or probably your past work to actually convince your client. But when you don't have it, it's kind of like difficult. But when you have more clients, then you probably want to think about how can you actually strengthen and build your reputation to get better clients or more clients in the future. So how do you balance this, and which one is more
Okay.
important? I mean,
Yeah, that's true. Like building your reputations, part of it is marketing, right?
yeah.
So when I got busy with the first few clients, I had like a real struggle with managing my time. Do I focus on client work? Do I focus on marketing? And if I'm busy with client work, I tend to like don't have the time to post on social media and stuff. So the first 1 year plus, I was really struggling with like how to put my name out there, and what happens is the feast and famine cycle, right? Freelancer, you have clients, you're busy with client work, and after that the clients are gone and you start to market and start to hustle again. It's a never ending cycle. So you have a very good point that you need to build that reputation, that credibility. The very first thing I did was, I decided to start a blog, and started a blog. I wasn't that consistent with creating content, but I started to write about Pinterest marketing, and clients started to come in from Google search. So I no longer have to go to Facebook groups to look for clients. They either come from referrals or from Google search. So I really think that blogging, it can be really a slow growth compared to YouTube. YouTube, like if you can do video, it's a faster growth. But getting visible on Google, it took some time, but it just snowballs over time, right? Your content gets found when people are searching for Pinterest manager or looking for some Pinterest advice. So that's the first thing. That's like creating evergreen content. It's funny, I'm active on Instagram, but to be honest, I don't really enjoy Instagram. Maybe because of that, my energy level is not there. Maybe that's why I haven't found Instagram to be a good, lead. It brings in email subscribers to my email list sometimes, but not really the right fit clients.
Right.
I get DMs sometimes, direct messages sometimes, but not the right fit clients. They're looking for something else, or so social media is another way you can build your credibility. Blogging can be a long form blogging. It's not for everyone, right?
Not for everyone.
No, I can't. I die. Seriously.
Same here.
For me, video is intimidating to me, so I
Okay.
prefer to write. I prefer to stay behind the screen.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay.
And
Yeah.
go
You're
ahead.
saying? Sorry. Please go ahead.
If you ask me to go on, it's gonna be.
It's okay. I mean, okay. Then I'll
That's the
probably
idea
like
of
read
having a
some of the
chat.
comments. It's like, I mean, yeah, because a few questions coming in, but before that, Sharon was saying, "Congrats for not giving up, May. Never
Oh,
easy."
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Coming from a woman who never gives up.
yeah, Sharon, you have to go and watch Sharon's episode.
Yes.
Like crazy. She is like
Oh yeah, I think
interesting
I
story.
watched it.
Yeah.
It's about
I think several
co-working
episodes back,
spaces,
like
right?
90. Yes.
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 Episode 90. That's Sharon. Okay. Now Chiwai has a question. Just now you mentioned that you help manage clients' Pinterest page. Is there any third-party tool that allows you to manage and lock in multiple accounts at one go? for content planning, scheduling, etc.? So that's the first question.
Yes.
Okay, so what would that be?
Tailwind. Tailwind. I use Tailwind to schedule Pinterest. Otherwise, you'll have to spend like many more hours if you're trying to schedule everything from Pinterest. So Tailwind is a scheduler.
Does it work across
not multiple accounts though? Sorry?
Oh, does it work across other social media, or is it Tailwind primarily for Pinterest?
Now they have Instagram as well. They started with Pinterest. Now they have Instagram scheduling tool as well.
I see. Okay.
You can also cross-share your Instagram posts to Facebook. I think they're coming with Facebook also.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Facebook Creator has that for Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, that's Facebook and Instagram. That's that. Okay.
Yeah. So it's Tailwind. You can use the Meta Business Suite will be sufficient. Unless you choose the cover image of the Instagram post, then you choose the Creator Studio. But GY, go and check the Pinterest episode previously 1 year ago done by May. That's a demonstration also.
Oh yeah, we did a Tailwind demo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite impressive.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Episode 1. I forgot it already. Never mind, GY, you go and find out. Definitely you were there, GY, so you asked the same question. But thanks for spice up the discussion. I like it. Or probably you forgot about that. Okay, now we have another question. Nah, just kidding. Okay, now we have a question from Jing. Good evening, all. Just a question. When cold emailing, where do you get their emails? Which is research company or just try your luck? That's a great question.
I just go to their website and find their contact form or their email address.
Wow.
Back then, if they don't have an email address, then I'm stuck. I can message them. But now there is a tool. There's a Chrome extension. I need to find that called Get Email or something.
There's a few tools available out there.
Yeah. So you can, if you're using Chrome browser, and if you install that extension, you can look for Google find email address Chrome extension. You will find a few.
Yeah.
And
some of them are like Hunter.io.
Oh yes, Hunter.io. Yes, that's the one I tried before.
Yeah,
Hunter.io. Okay,
but primarily they use for LinkedIn though. I think Hunter is for LinkedIn.
Okay.
Pretty strong.
TY for doing your service, episode 32.
Oh, there you go. See?
That's fun.
Do that 60
2 thumbs up for you. Power. Not bad.
60 episodes.
The keeper of 3 Marketeers directories.
1 year. 1 year.
More than a year. 60 over weeks ago. Crazy how time flies, man. Seriously. So I mean, you're just saying about the striking a balance. I totally agree with you. Is this because I started out back then, when I got busy with clients' work, and I was like, seriously, no time. But I guess if there is anyone starting out, I guess it's beneficial to set aside some time at least. Say maybe like just half a day every week. You just empty yourself and do some marketing. And you can choose. I mean, when it comes to content creation, I guess it's really about finding the so-called the format that you're comfortable with. Like we have 2 extremes here. May is into writing, totally powerful and has got a lot of long tail effect, and it works really well in the long term. I can't write, so I have to speak. So I just do a lot of videos. But if you want something quick, I just want to probably give you a bit of comparison. Like May said, it takes a while for writing. Okay, and YouTube, when it comes to YouTube, I guess I started seeing traction in just like about 2 months. It's actually pretty fast.
That's fast.
Really fast, and in 2 months' time, I dominated a niche.
So the YouTube is just normal landscape YouTube. It's not YouTube Shorts,
Yeah, the normal landscape.
No, it's just normal YouTube.
It's not Shorts,
No, it's not YouTube Shorts. I mean, YouTube Shorts doesn't work as good as
Instagram.
If you
Instagram
ask me,
TikTok.
TikTok is okay. I can share a bit based on my experience because I actually experimented a little bit on.
I'm thinking of trying, but then again.
I know.
Definitely not doing dancing videos. Definitely not doing dancing videos.
What kind of video
we
do? Yeah, we do sharing video. as in like talking head kind of thing, just talk about one topic at a time.
That's what I'm thinking.
Actually, if you go to TikTok, right, you go and find like whatever Pinterest marketing, I bet there will be some videos like that already. So all we need to do is just to look at how they do it. So what I did was I actually created 30 videos. But what I want to share with you, like the other day, Andrew was saying it's easier to create 1 minute video.
Right. I was thinking about that.
So tough. Because when you
to get people to stay, is it?
No. It's so tough to stay within a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so tough to stay within a minute because usually we just yam away, you see, like talkative people like us. And in order to stay within a minute, then you got to make sure that you don't and all these things. So tough. So tough. Takes so much more practicing actually.
Yeah. No, because I was talking to Jason. He's been asking me to go to YouTube, and I was thinking, imagine creating a 30 minutes video or 45 minutes video. There's so much preparation and all. Then I discovered that YouTube Watch is 1 minute. I said, it's okay, well, you just say what you want to say, theoretically speaking, for 1 minute, and you're done. Then so I posted a question. I said, is YouTube Watch a good option? And it's telling me that it's a lot more difficult. I don't know. I haven't tried yet. I was thinking like 30 minutes video, 1 minute, just like this, done. Should be easier, see?
I mean, if you want me to do like one shot 10 videos to be edited into YouTube without counting the length, right? I can do it just like one take.
I see.
But when you want me to do like this kind of 1 minute video, it's very difficult. Okay, now if you want to launch this, I actually tried. I created a few videos and I tried on 3 platforms. I posted it on Facebook. Not Facebook. Instagram Reels, TikTok. What was that again? The other one is YouTube Shorts. Okay. Actually, the best performing one is still Instagram Reels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, just to feel the context.
I've been told that TikTok gets more views and like faster followers.
Kind of video. Maybe I'm not handsome enough. Pretty lady, maybe lah. Manfred go there, maybe better. I'm just saying.
Why don't you try?
Okay, I'll just give you some numbers. Okay, Manfred, you hold it there. Numbers, Okay, on average, I get 3,000 views on IG.
Okay.
On average, each video about 2,000 to 3,000 views. Let's make it like 3. And for the same video, I get about 20, 30 views on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, and on TikTok, I get about 10 to 20 views on TikTok. That kind of number.
Maybe TikTok needs. How often do you post on TikTok?
When I was doing it, I do daily.
Daily, yeah. I heard that people who post, when you're getting started, you want to post on TikTok daily for that to get that faster growth. Yeah, maybe it's the. And I also learned that TikTok can be a search engine as well. Like people are searching using the hashtags are actually search terms, not like Instagram where you know the fancy words.
Hashtags are search terms.
At the title, they don't have a description like YouTube Shorts, no? Because YouTube Shorts is up. So you squeeze in within that limit. I think it's 80 or 150. I can't remember. So in the same scenario like Jason, I'm also doing IG Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. Same, but it's a bit unfair comparison because the IG and the Facebook account has been around for some time. So the is better. And TikTok actually the algorithm is totally different. And I'm putting the same video throughout, and I'm a little bit lazy because the same video also used for IG and Facebook story. So I restrict it to 15 seconds. So I have 4 platforms. I think you want to consider FB story, IG story, IG Reel, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. But the thing is, because TikTok and the YouTube Short is relatively new, so the traction is not there. But I find it very strange. So sometimes the format is almost the same. The call to action and maybe the content video is different. Even though the day posting is the same, I have very drastic results. Some can be very bad, some can be very good. Same like Jason, 3,000 plus real view. Yes, so I'm still playing with it. I don't have an answer for it. Yeah.
I think it's not about finding the answer for it. It's about finding your own kind of momentum. Because what happened to me is, I guess for my kind of video, one of the reasons why I probably get a little bit more traction is because I have a follower base over there already. That's totally unfair kind of comparison. But I think at the same time, it's because somehow it just hit some, I don't know, whatever, don't know what happened. It's just start to feature my video a lot for that short period of time.
For TikTok, the initial few video is extremely important, and it's only on that country that you start. Say, example, you start in Singapore, you only show in Singapore. You won't show to Malaysia.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you only show in Singapore. So that few videos you have better bonuses to reach out to people. After that, you will just die off.
Well, how come
So
I didn't get a bonus one?
As in, you
All my
need
videos
to
like so pathetic.
few people are good lah.
I don't know lah. Maybe that lah. Maybe tak laku lah. Nobody's looking for that.
And
That's why.
TikTok video you put already cannot edit one. I forgot to put hashtag.
I know. I realized that
Too
also.
late.
So I think come to this discussion, I mean, can we safely conclude that somehow if you are looking for international client, TikTok may not be a good platform, because it actually is, although it's international platform, but it kind of zoom into your country, your origin country.
I didn't know about that.
I didn't know that also. I kind of like, thanks for bringing it up.
I'm curious to try it out. Right? Yeah, when I have the time.
Why not?
When I can commit to another platform. Yeah.
No. The thought of getting on another platform is so tiring.
Yeah, that's true.
But to me, I mean, seriously, it's just, if you want to leverage, I believe if you're talking about service-based business, right? Online service-based business, so these kind of businesses, whatever that you're going to start out, whether you're a service provider or you're an expert or a coach and something like that, right? I guess most of our clients, I can relate, are looking for us on Google.
May, there's another way of doing it. Since you're pretty strong, you're strong in Pinterest, you can actually do posts on asking your followers and say how many of them are actually on TikTok. If let's say, do a post and say just randomly ask who is on TikTok, and then that will give you an indication whether.
Maybe on Instagram, because Pinterest is not really a community platform.
No, really?
It's a search engine. So there is no something like Instagram stories. No interaction with people. It's just that you put it's a bit like blogging or like YouTube, putting up a YouTube video. You put your content there, and when people are searching for that content, they find it, they come to your website. There's no social element there. Although you can comment on a pin, you can like a pin. That's about it.
That's about it.
That's
okay.
I still kind of like forgot about Pinterest. Not that familiar with Pinterest.
Don't worry, it's the platform that even people in the US, where it's really commonly used, they know how to use this for their personal use. But when it comes to using as a business, people get confused. Because they try to match Pinterest with how social media works, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's a different animal.
Right.
So I guess since we're actually at the topic of finding your first few clients, let's say if you're starting up your online business, finding your first few clients, I guess you got to be a little bit more active. Probably go to places where your potential clients probably hang out, and go there and provide value, share something. And then at the same time, I think very important advice learning from May and myself is dedicate some time to do marketing. You just gotta do it. I mean, we are always eventually, when we have clients, which is a happy thing, right? We get busy delivering, and then we forgot about the importance of marketing, because you have to always remember. You see, it happened to me like donkey number of times, and I would be like, holy, every time I'm at it again. You will complete the project. When you complete the project, then you'll be like,
what's next?
What's next? Where's the next client coming from?
Whole client. Then you go like, reinventing the whole wheel all over again. It's like, I gotta go do marketing. I gotta do
posting and all those things.
That's why I like this, what they call inbound marketing, like content marketing. What you're doing on YouTube. Your YouTube videos are there forever. People can find you anytime. You have this big whole library of YouTube where people can discover you. It's the same thing with getting found through blogging on Google and Pinterest. Another thing I haven't talked about is, when you become a little more confident in your, this is like a little bit the next stage, but you can also do it when you're starting out, especially if you know your subject matter very well, is like going on people's podcasts, like collaborations. like
yes.
borrowing other people's audiences. This is something that I wished I had done earlier in the days. It's something that I just started to focus more on this year.
Wow.
Like going on people's podcasts, getting speaking, like doing presentations in other people's Facebook groups. It's like you're leveraging other people's audiences
Yeah.
to get, instead of just creating your own content and waiting for people to come to your website. Yeah, I mean, you can do both, but what I mean is that's another powerful strategy that you can leverage. For me, in the beginning, I didn't. Yeah, go ahead. I didn't have the confidence, so yeah, I didn't do that in the beginning. Yeah,
Easier to take the beaten track than than,
yeah.
than to really
Yeah, like
go
in
and cut a thread out. Yeah, just take someone that is tried and proven.
yeah, and then as long as that's the right audience, that they have the right audience, that you share as a common audience. It's very similar to like the traditional marketing, where you get a PR media feature. In the online business world, it comes in the form of like podcasting, doing summits. Have you
Mm.
Yeah, like have you watched, like participated in any summits, or like watch any summits? It's like like a virtual event where there are like different speakers
Yes.
making their own presentations. But of course, you need to know the right people to get into those things. So that's why I'm in some Facebook groups where people are like looking for speakers or summits. That's why I'm back in Facebook groups now to look for
Okay.
these kind of
Right.
Yeah.
speaking engagements.
But I like it. I think it's a very good piece of advice, because eventually leveraging and collaboration is really something very important. Podcast back then. I'm very much into podcasts right now. But then again, what do you think about the podcast in our part of the world? Not really, right? Podcast in the Western countries, maybe yes.
Yeah,
That makes
our
sense for
Asian,
part of
me
the
because
world.
she's targeting the US
yeah,
market. Makes sense for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think in Asia there are more like niche. Like the podcasts are more. I'm not very familiar with business related podcasts. If there are any, then that could be relevant. If you serve local businesses, it depends on where your ideal clients are.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of podcasts, they could talk about like a certain topic that you cannot go in and talk about. For example, a podcast that talks about movies, it's not relevant,
no,
right?
yeah, true.
Yeah. So if there's a podcast that talks about a local podcast that talks about digital marketing, for example, that could be the right fit for you, right?
This one.
And even
This
for
one.
us. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you okay.
This is actually a podcast, but I
Like
actually
this one.
I forgot to update the podcast side
Did
of
you?
things for a while.
Yeah. So now you're inviting guests to your
Yeah.
podcast, right? So
Yeah.
this will be turned into a podcast. That's
Actually,
really cool. How you repurpose your content, across all platforms.
Because we are just lazy.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
working smarter.
podcasting is very important, because if you ask me, actually I started my personal podcast I think about a month plus ago. We just crossed 80 episodes. I think 60, 70 something, close to 80 episodes right now. I was gung-ho that I say I want to post every day. Collapse. No, cannot
Cannot.
happen. Very difficult.
No,
Very difficult.
podcast, I think once a week is a good frequency. Every
Yeah,
day.
once a week is fine, because you see, I believe once a week may not be enough. You
Really?
probably want to do 2 to 3 per week, because if people listen, they want to binge listen.
Oh,
So
but it
whenever
will
they are,
snowball over time, right? You just,
but it also
if you're
depends on how long
consistent.
is your content.
Yeah, that's true. If it's an
Yeah.
hour, very unlikely. I mean, unless I have nothing else
Yeah.
better to do.
So I actually do a mix of things lah. Basically, I have some long form, I have some short form content, and eventually, you see, like it actually spike. Like okay, now just to share a little bit, podcast, if you ask me, is very suitable if you already have a kind of like a
Fan base.
so-called follower base.
Yeah.
Okay, you use podcasts to nurture them. And then if you are doing some active lead generation, you use podcasts to nurture them as well. Like, my funnel is a little bit like this. I do YouTube videos, right? I also do active lead gen. I run ads. So when I do lead gen, when they come into my universe, one of the things that I will invite them to do is to listen to my podcast. Because if you look at it, like close to 80 episodes, it's a lot of things. So they will so basically when I do that, right, when I actively do my lead gen, my podcast download number is gonna spike.
Oh.
And during that period of time, the leads that comes back for the one-on-one call, I would say 90% of them would say, I've listened to your podcast.
Oh, interesting.
I see. Yeah, so that's your nurturing platform.
Correct. And I find it more powerful than YouTube.
Oh,
YouTube is like your discovery, right?
Yes.
People discover
YouTube is the top of funnel, the inflow that you bring people into your universe. And then listening to the podcast really is when these people feel that they are kind of like, oh, I know this guy already. Because seriously, your ear is super powerful. It makes you feel you know this person.
So the lesson is never let Jason get into your brain.
It's very powerful. It's actually very powerful. I really love it.
Some industry, this one cannot work. Some industry is more visually driven. Can't use podcasts.
That's why you have to pick the right platform.
Combination, I guess.
It's a combination.
I think is you have audio type of audience, you have visual type of audience.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they can come from at the end of the day, if they are quality audience, you don't care.
Yeah, true.
And
when I see the so-called our comment count is coming up, but wait.
Yep. Okay.
Let me
share.
Let me check if there's anyone coming up. Sharon is asking, what about Clubhouse? Okay, can I say this now? Wait, what Clubhouse?
It's the app that I downloaded and never used.
I have to thank Andrew for bringing me in, and I was like, okay, I was in for a while, joined a room for a while, and I was like, what do I do here?
Yeah. After 4 or 5 listens, I gave up. And the reason I would download because I just want to get hold of the handle. We don't know what's going to happen, but yeah.
I think
for me,
Clubhouse,
go
yes. I mean, sorry. Yeah, I mean, just saying. To me, Clubhouse it takes a lot of commitment.
Absolutely.
You can repurpose your content, right? You can record it.
Yeah.
And I mean, towards the later part of it, yes, you can, right? You can repurpose that. After I was told that later part of the journey they allowed that, but then again, even for listeners, I gotta be there live, listen to the conversation, and that takes a lot of commitment, in my opinion. Yeah, you want to say something, May?
Oh yeah, I wanted to say for me the challenge was that the Clubhouse parties that happen are usually in the US time. So it's always when I'm sleeping. So I can never attend. I can never listen to it.
Your clients are in the US, so sometimes you also have to
Oh yeah, what about your time management? You follow their time or they follow your time?
Pinterest management is very simple. I just do it at my own time. I don't need to. Only if there are like I need to make presentations or client calls, I would choose my early mornings or like times like this, 10, 11 p.m. Yeah.
Quick question. So sometimes Facebook actually roll out things based on countries. So US normally get the earlier release, but you are based in Singapore, so will it impact you? See some features you are not.
Yes, it does. So sometimes if I need to like access a new feature, I have to, as I use my clients' accounts, I get to use them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
True, your clients are actually coming from that, so you can actually get
and you're
access
managing the account, so it's as much as it's as good as yours anyways. Okay.
Yeah, true. Is there any advice you can share with us about client management? I mean, oh my God, that's kind of like the toughest thing to a lot of people. Right? That's the reason why I stopped my agency work.
There's another headache.
Yeah.
Oh, not headache, right? It's a challenge.
It's not a challenge if you like it. Let's put it this way. Because some people love it. I met some client manager, account manager that love this thing. But it's just not for everyone. So what if I don't like doing it? So what would be your advice in terms of balancing this whole thing up?
Yeah, I guess clients can come in many different forms. I would say I've been lucky that I didn't really have a really what I would call a bad client. I think it also boils down to your boundaries, setting boundaries. In the beginning, of course, like when I was starting out, I was just, let them,
Manage
try
you.
to please them. Not manage me or try to please them as much as possible. But I realized that that's not how I want to run, my services. That you might end up getting burned out in the end. So whether you're working with a team or just you're directly working with clients, I think the first thing is communication. It's very important from the beginning. You have to set certain boundaries. So what I do is when a client comes on board, I would send them, a web page on my website where I list down how I work, my working hours, like within how many hours they can expect to receive and reply, like all the, like the best practices of how I work, and put it in a way that it's also in their benefit actually, because when they know what to expect from the beginning, they won't run all over you. At least that's what I experienced. But of course, sometimes when the more clients we work with, maybe the more different types of clients you come across.
Yep.
Yeah. Managing clients. Of course, there are times when, like Pinterest is not always like going up. There's times when it goes up and down. This month, let's say the stats are down. How do I explain it? I have to really like go and find, go and dig the reason for why it's happening. And sometimes this could even happen for months, for reasons that we couldn't uncover. Sometimes the algorithm change, and sometimes it's the client's content that is not resonating with the audience, things like that. So I think for me, the stress comes when there are months when the stats are down, because marketing is about like stats going up all the time, right?
Yep.
So when the stats are up, when the time you send a report, it's all
Easy,
good
lah.
and sunshine. Yeah.
It's easier to write reports like this.
And Jason, you were asking from, like, do you have an example of a scenario where you didn't like managing?
No,
client
it's
count?
not about the client that
It's not because of the client. Okay.
It's really to me is I mean,
Account management part of it,
it's
right? The
it's
client.
work part of things. It's like, I love my clients, even though sometimes I do met some interesting clients, but I would say 91% of my clients are all good people, awesome people. I'm not saying that I don't like to hang out with them. I do, but then again, it's just the amount of work, because I am the kind of person who I really enjoy doing the ads strategy, analytics, and all that.
I think
But when it
so.
comes to, talking to client and all that, and managing the reporting and all that is just not something that I really enjoy.
I hate the reporting side.
Yeah.
I dread when it comes to the
Me
end
too.
of the project. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, what did I do for the 1 whole month? I got to track back.
Yeah.
And by the time you take about 3-4 days to just prepare the stupid report and you present the client just asks for one question and that's about it. Like,
That's
what the hell
about
do
it,
you do
man.
that for?
That's about it. So I mean,
Just write it down whenever you do.
easier said than done, lah.
Easier
I mean,
said than done.
so basically, I think this is a very important portion. If you are listening to this or you're thinking about starting your own online service-based businesses, you got to be aware about the potential kind of like, you see, I would say even if you love the job, there must be something that you don't enjoy doing. It's not about you hating the work. It's just you don't enjoy doing. So you got to be aware about that. And what I learned along the way, something I actually didn't do very well, is you got to somehow dedicate your time, because when it comes to running an online service-based business, it's not just about this, there are external things like, for example, the administration work, the accounting work.
Wearing all the hats.
It's
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It's got to be you, unless
Especially
you have
if you're working alone.
Yeah. So these are all the things that I faced back then earlier, but probably now it's coming back to me. But then again, I guess you got to be prepared for that as well.
Yeah.
So what about, sorry, please go on.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
I was gonna say that in the beginning, when you're just starting out, like the prospect of getting new clients and working, like getting projects and getting paid for that is really great. But at some point it will start to get routine. Certain part of it will start to get routine. And also at a certain point your hours are limited, so it might get you might hit an income ceiling at some point of time. This is what happening to me right now. So when that happens, there are two ways you can still scale. One is to go for the agency route, start an agency, hire teams to manage those client projects. And then the other part of it is to try scaling in a different way by adding more income streams, which I'm trying to do right now. So you can start to introduce digital products, because you have learned so much from managing client accounts. So you can package it up into a course or an ebook, or a digital offer that you can offer. Yeah, but that's a different business model already. But what I'm saying is, if you're just starting out as a service provider, I think the next step that you want to look at is, just on focusing on getting clients, and then the later part that comes with it, like, if you're feeling that you're not enjoying the work anymore, I wanted to say that there are solutions. You're not stuck there. Jason also found a solution, right?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, I totally agree with you. It's about multiplying your source of revenue.
Yeah.
I think it's very important. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, which route are you actually looking at right now? Multiple way of adding, like, you can't just. I think one thing you can do right now is, I mean, what I've done in the past 2 years is really trying to piece things together, as in, like, what can I offer? But now at least I have a journey for this, for all whoever come from, wherever you are. But I guess when you're doing this, you have to start looking at, is there anything that you can create along the way? Like, I totally agree with May. Like, you can always start with digital products. And even though you may think that, oh, if I create this course, nobody may want to learn from me. But let me give you this idea. It's very powerful. It become a very powerful weapon when you're closing a client. You just tell them that, look, I have this course. This is a bonus for you. You can actually learn this. And when you come in, then we'll be able to work at a more level kind of, like, we'll be able to understand each other better. So that works so well for me, because, to be frank, clients wants to learn. They want to know, they want to be, they may not want to do the work, but they want to be in the know. So you got to see if there is anything you can create. But of course, when it comes to multiplying or, kind of like revenue source, there are many things to do. But I totally agree with you. But I guess one way is, of course, to kind of like increase the price.
Yeah.
That's one way.
Yeah, that's another way. Yes.
Yeah. But are you really thinking about going agency?
No, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
At some point, I hired someone to do, or to hand over some of the client work, but maybe it's just the way I work. I realized that if one thing is, when you start an agency, in my opinion, to be able to hire out, you need to increase your prices to make it work. So I was stuck between, I couldn't raise my prices, because that's, at the time, that was what clients are willing to pay. And then hiring someone, my experience was that I was doing some double work. But I know that's part and parcel of it. It could be that you need more training. And but at the end, what I found is that I didn't really enjoy, or didn't want to start an agency. So I decided to, like, branch out into digital products. Yeah. So
I think
this
that's
year,
smart. I think that's smart.
Yeah.
That's very smart. Starting an agency is,
more headache, I feel.
Well, I had my 10 good years doing it. 10 bloody good years doing it. I guess it's not for everybody.
I think to be able to seamlessly transition into, if you want to, into an agency model, is you got to be a very process and system-oriented person.
Yes.
100%.
If
You
you
need all
are,
the SOPs.
yes, then it's easier to transition. The thing is, I think similar to Jason, maybe same for you. For me is, I like to just create stuff, and I'm really really dumb or basically lousy in documentation. Only recently I forced myself because I found out that as you handle more clients, you're getting bogged down by things that you used to do and you forget, and you got to go back and recreate again. So I'm forcing myself to try to systemize and process that. There's an onboarding process, document them, set it ready. There's a questionnaire process and all these things. And as you build this, if you are consistent with it, then eventually it becomes easier for you to transition to agency if you want to.
Yeah.
But if you are free for all kind of person like me, I tell you, the guy is going to sit down at me and look, and ask you what you want them to do, and say you have no idea. You're going to end up, okay, never mind, I'll do it myself because I have no idea. I can't tell you. I've got to do it then and realize
Sometimes
that,
that's what I experience as well. That's why it takes a certain type of skill to run an agency, and I realize that that's not my thing.
So, for you guys out there, if you are free for all, then be careful when you go to the agency route. You will be the one doing most of the work.
Yeah, man, seriously. So, yeah, I guess that leads us to 11:01. So that wraps. It's an hour. I believe this episode is very useful because you're actually listening from not just me, a bit of sharing from myself and Andrew, because we have had a fair share of building some online service-based business, and I believe that serves as probably a good kickstart for you. Remember, marketing is important, but of course, servicing is also another part you got to deliver. But you always have to remember it's about one step at a time, building a reputation, which eventually you become an expert. It's a lot easier for you to get client and for you to command different kind of price point and all that. So it's a journey. It
You
doesn't
need to be able to attract, which is marketing, and you need to be able to deliver, which is basically your service.
Correct. So welcome to the world of online service provider. So
Absolutely.
You do everything basically.
Correct.
Okay.
So before we go, Manfred.
Wow.
I'm showing this Meitu photo and video editor. I'm showing you the Google Play Store.
Wait, I gotta bring it up.
Oh, okay.
Yet again, I can't send the link in because I can't chat.
It's okay. They can just look for Meitu.
Yeah, I think this app everybody knows lah. It's Meitu.
Is it a Chinese app? It sounds very Chinese to me. Oh yeah,
it's from China. It's from China.
Okay.
But it's in English instructions, so no need to worry lah. But basically, the need comes actually when you take videos, and a lot of times when you take videos on your phone, the lighting is not ideal.
Okay.
That's for my scenario. So you only have that one chance, and honestly, the lighting is okay. The pace of the video you can use editor to edit but the lighting is an issue. So these two, where the source of your video is actually in your phone, you can use this and you can choose a filter. For me, I choose a filter. I can choose the right filter to brighten it up. So it looks much better. You can do a lot of magical tricks. In fact, I don't even know that a lot of ladies actually use this to make their skin look whiter, slimmer. So this is one marvelous tool. And as I think I shared it before, I used to work with one junior graphic designer. She really blew my mind. Everything I do, I always on a laptop, on a MacBook. She can do it on a phone.
Yeah.
So how productive it is. You on the train, she's doing work On the train, I read or I watch YouTube to learn
Same
something.
here.
Yeah.
I got no choice. I can only read or I watch YouTube. But she's doing work.
Oh,
She can
that's
use
amazing.
Canva,
I can't do that.
Meitu
No way.
on the phone. In fact, CapCut on the phone, editing. Of course, there are restrictions. There are restrictions here and there, but there are some quality work can be done on the phone. So I'm feeling I'm becoming a dinosaur. So I'm just face up. The younger generations are the one that you should really watch out and learn from them. So this is one tool that I'm introducing Meitu.
Still a desktop person.
I mean,
not a mobile guy.
I learned the mobile thing.
Yeah.
I did my podcast episode over there, and I did my
On the phone.
my videos, my not the YouTube videos, but my short videos on the phone.
It's a video editor, is it?
Yeah, I
mobile
use
video
InShot.
editing.
If you want to talk about that, I use InShot.
In short, yeah.
Oh
InShot,
yeah, in short, I
powerful,
downloaded before. Yeah.
powerful. I went for the paid version. Totally worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also use, if you want to do the podcast editing, I use Anchor. Anchor, very easy editing. Just pop, pop, pop. At one point, I was using like mobile record. Ta-da-da, up one episode.
Wow.
Next week, wow, we will let Jason do it.
What do you want? I talked about it already. So next week, wow, this week, our team.
Demonstration of InShot.
Yeah, actually, in short. I mean, just go for it. But yeah, these are all powerful tools. Like if you want to go caption, I have a lot. Talk about video editing on the mobile. I can talk about that. Maybe I give you some other tools to look at.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
for me.
Yeah, it's okay.
I tried using Canva on app and after
Oh,
after
it's
a couple
It's very
seconds, I give up.
clunky. Very
Yeah.
clunky. I
But
didn't
I
like
like
it.
it though. I do Canva
I
editing.
only use Canva to download stuff if I want to put something on Instagram
Oh yeah, me too.
yeah.
So I use it to
Yeah.
edit my YouTube thumbnails in the mobile.
Oh
shit.
really? In mobile? Oh,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I do that.
I
do that.
prefer desktop for sure.
Just in out. Yeah.
Wow,
So,
give me
but
a
yeah,
lesson.
it's just okay, I can try. It's quite interesting. But with that, I think that
On
wraps
that
this
note-
up. So really powerful sharing from May. Thank you so much for joining us again after 60 over weeks. Wow.
Thank you for
Surprise,
having
right?
me again.
Yeah, I mean, we just wish you all the best for whatever plan that you have this year, really, in terms of multiplying your revenue, source of revenue.
you.
Really best of luck for that. And yeah, maybe one day we can actually have another chat, because there'll be more platforms we talk about, like another podcast. Actually, we can have some sharing over
By the
there.
way, you have the courses you mentioned. Is it out already?
yeah.
May?
Where do we find you?
You mean my website?
It's okay.
Your website?
Your
Yeah.
website. Where should we send people
Yeah,
to?
let's start with that. The website.
Can you read it out? Can you read it out? Your
Okay,
website.
it's maytanda.com, maytanda.com.
Yeah, sorry about that. I won't be able to paste the comment over here. So this is just kaput on me. So maytanda.com. Just go over. If you need help on Pinterest, she is the person you need to work with.
Yep.
Worst
Right.
case, you can reach out to me. I can connect you with her.
Yeah. Manfred is our connector. Manfred is our man. So just talk to Manfred. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining us. I think CY is still here. Thanks, Sharon, and thanks, Jing, and whoever is commenting. I won't be able to see that over here. Sorry about that.
One of
But
those
again,
days.
it doesn't discount the quality of this episode. Thank you, May, for joining us.
Yes.
With that,
Thank you, Jason.
yeah, we urgent this one. See you next week, same time.
Episode 93.
Episode 93, correct. So, all right, see you next week. Thanks, guys. Good night.
night.
Bye-bye.